Good morning, students of class 11. This is the eighth part of the chapter 1, and we are going to discuss today about the accounts of foreign travelers, which also contribute to be an important part of history. The foreign travelers who came to India and who, from their experience, wrote on India's social, economic, and political activities. Like many writers from pre Alexandrian time, wrote on India, and they serve as an important information for reconstruction of history, such as Skylax, Herodotus. They were the one who contributed their time and energy on writing history. During Alexandrian time, those who came with Alexander, like Ptolemy and Nearchus, also wrote history of India. Megasthenes, who came to India during Chandragupta's time, wrote on the social and economic activities of the period and on the history of that particular period. And his writing contributed as an important source of Indian history. Next, who we can talk about is Fa Hian and Huan Sang, who came to India to study about Buddhism. And they also not only wrote about Buddhism in India, but also contributed towards reconstruction of history, which helped our historians to reconstruct history. Fa Hian and Huan Sang. They are also important writers and foreign account travelers who wrote many things on India and which helped in reconstruction of history. During Ghazni's attack on India, Al-Biruni came with Ghazni and he wrote books like Tahiki Hind, and which also contributed an important source of history. The periods to which the writers contributed to the history and their writings contributed towards not only the content of that period, their particular social, economic, political, and cultural activities also. After this, we are going to study about the importance of history and what are the nuances that we need to follow while writing history. The things that we should keep in mind, the things that contributed in many historical writings and also in many books, like interpolation. What is interpolation? Many times while writing history during ancient period, the authors did not use dates, and it became harder for the historians to reconstruct the history of that period without dates. So many information were inserted into that story. And without that inserted information, the history of that particular period could not be reconstructed. So, interpolation is another major thing that contributed towards reconstruction of history, because without that inserted part, history was not easily constructed. After that interpolation, we are going to talk about that many times without dates, many misleading information, and historians were able to construct to which period that history would fall into, and without chronology, as we all know, history is incomplete. So historians face such problems without dates when the stories doesn't have a particular basic dates, and hence they have misleading information and misconstrue some of the informations. Now, the name of the author. Many times the author do not have a name, and this lead to a problem by the historians, because without the name of the author, what the storyline wants to convey to us becomes difficult for the historians to construct, because from the name of the authors we can understand that with this viewpoint he may have written this history, but it becomes difficult for our historians without the name of the author on that particular event or story, that it becomes difficult for them to reconstruct that part of history. Drama is an important source of history which contributes into the historical writing. And many times from this drama, many authors' names are missing. And hence, again, it becomes difficult for us to reconstruct history from these dramatic stories. And because we think that dramas are based on the daily lives of the people, we try to construct history basically from these information. After drama, we are going to talk about eulogies. Eulogies are basically, we have seen like eulogies are written on the achievements of kings and their achievements in wars and their administrative activities. And eulogies also sometimes misleads us, as it is mostly on the achievement and glorification of the king, so it does not lead to the correct information. It cannot be only on the king's achievement. We should also know about that particular period people. What were their problems? What were their interests? What were the activities? What were the political activities? Social and cultural. Eulogies are not based on those. Eulogies dedicate to the glorification of king's rule. And hence this does not provide as a basis for judging a history of that particular period. With this video clip, your PDF will be attached. Thank you.